You and Indiana Fever head coach Christie Sides agree. Joe Dale, 1972, who says you should make a video about how all-time leading scorer in NCAA men and women is only averaging 12 shots per game. Mitchell has 22 more attempts, but only 3 more points than CC on the season. Look, Caitlin has been very efficient in her points this year, especially as of late. But I pointed out before when people were talking about the Arike Agumboale Olympic deal that if she was taking the same number of shots, she'd be in 30-point range. Now, is that on Caitlin, or is that on the coach, or is that on a number of different factors? Well, the coach was coaching Caitlin Clark in public once again. She was coaching Caitlin Clark in public once again. And this is what Christie Sides had to say about this very topic.
Yeah, I think sometimes she's being a little too unselfish at times. She had 13 assists the other night against Chicago. I mean, she is going, if you're open, she's going to hit you. I think she turns down some shots. I'd like her to take some shots that when she comes off, she knows she has the green light.
Is there like a match?
So, as much as there will be people probably mad to see Christie Sides coaching Caitlin Clark in public again, and this stuff belongs, behind closed doors, that is the message that many have wanted to hear, right? The message that many have wanted to hear so far this season, and the emphasis on green light. She has the green light. Because if you go way back to the beginning of the year, it was the comments about making quick decisions and not turning down the long twos and the like that had people up in arms and made people think that Caitlin Clark was not going to shoot her trademark distance threes. But she's been getting those up. That's not the problem at all. I mean, she's shooting actually very well on the deep threes this year, and she's attempting 8 threes a game. So that is, 2/3 of her total shot attempts. So clearly, Christie Sides is not coaching Caitlin Clark away from shooting the three. I think what she's trying to coach her into doing more is shooting all the other shots. You're in the lane for that little floater, try it. You're in the lane, you got the pull up, do it. You've got that pull up three, and you want to be the hero, go for it. That's what it sounds like. Now, look, that shifts the pressure off of Sides onto Clark, which is obviously, you could look at it cynically as part of the strategy. I'm not sure, and I don't think that is the case in this instance, but you know what I'm trying to say. Because if Caitlin Clark is the one who is out there, shooting and everybody, knows she's getting the ball, it's not going to then come to Christie Sides. No one's going to say, hey, Christie Sides, why didn't Caitlin Clark get the ball? Which has been the conversation since that Chicago Sky game. Clark also talked at the shoot around, and here's what she said about reliving the loss.
Yeah, I mean, it stinks. Like, it was a game we felt like we could have, won and put ourselves in a position to win after 3 quarters. And even, I think we were up 12 with 7 minutes to play in the game, if I'm not mistaken. So I think you can't dwell on it too much, but it can't happen again. I think it's one you go back and watch the film and, like, you get in those situations. Like, if we have another situation where we're up, 15 in the 4th quarter, like, you have to be able to still attack and be aggressive, but also play really great defense. You can't foul as much. That stops the clock. That's free points when the clock's not even moving. Like, that's the worst thing that you can do. So I think those things, and like I've said, like, we're in an inexperienced group. Like, you have to learn from it. That's the only thing you can do. So
that's some good analysis from Caitlin right there. Obviously not on the exact same topic, but look, it's a balance, right? Like, because she is such an extraordinarily gifted playmaker, but at the same time, we know what she was able to do and how she's been able to score throughout her career, going back to college. And that was part of what put Caitlin Clark on the board. And right now, I think she is, Steve Nash level playmaking. She's been unbelievable on that end, but she could be have a little more dog in her. Isn't that what the Skip is going to try and make Caitlin his new LeBron James? But we know she's not afraid of the clutch moments. And it's picking and choosing the spots because you want her to make the right play. LeBron James was oft criticized for making the right play, and everything turned out pretty well for him. So I think Caitlin will figure it out. Part of it's getting more comfortable in that in-between area. Obviously, she does trust her teammates. Getting a teammate back that we know will pay off that trust should really help as well, because Teme Fagbenle is officially on the mend and about to be back out there.
Oh, great show. It was wonderful. Yeah. The good old days. No, it's going to be like, even in practice today, it was seamless.
Okay.
Like talking, being loud, being a good teammate is going to be seamless wherever you are, wherever you go, unless you have teammates who are just not, receiving it. And thankfully, my teammates receive it, and so it's just been a seamless transition in practice and been very helpful. Oh, great show. It wasn't.
Look, getting Teme back is going to be a big boost to Clark because she catches the passes she throws. She moves at the pace that Caitlin wants to play at. She does all those things. And that will necessarily help the team. But I honestly think, again, that those were the words a lot of fans, a lot of Caitlin Clark fans wanted to hear, not just that Teme Fig-Bentley will be back soon, which is certainly part of the things that fans want to hear, but just the publicly green light. Go for it. Shoot the rock, Caitlin Clark. You have my trust. And maybe in this instance, it was good public coaching from Christie Sides. Again, it shifts some of the responsibility away from her a bit, but it also puts, the onus squarely on the player that fans want to see making those decisions, whether it is passing off to the teammates or whether it is putting the rock up. Because, I think Caitlin Clark should be the catalyst for what this team does. They've got other people that can score, and she's got that two-man game going with Aaliyah Boston that has been very effective. You don't want to take that away. And you have what Kelsey Mitchell is able to provide as a different sort of look and a different sort of scorer. But this team, both now and going forward, is going to go as far as Caitlin Clark takes them. So that 12 field goal attempts, let's get that up to 15, 16, 17, 18, maybe even 20 at times. But in that 15 to 16 range would probably be a little bit more of a sweet spot. And then when you're even more worried about what Clark might do as a shooter, you can probably benefit when it comes to the teammates. Now, a lot of this happened in transition and off the rebound. So she was flinging it up the court, which is a little bit of a different situation than when you're in a half court set. But if you were going back to the beginning of the season and you were worried about what Christie Sides said about, Clark's shooting, I think this is the opposite message in a sense, and is one that a lot of CC's fans will want to hear. So are any fans going to be mad if we wind up seeing Caitlin Clark let that thing fly a bit more? Probably not.